It is Sunday, July 6th, 2025, and on this week's edition of Sunday Sofa Time, we're talking about Club Balcony Suite versus Haven Balcony Penthouse.
Just like the wind, just let it pass through, just let it pass you, you do what you do.
Is the Haven worth the splurge, or can you get a similar experience with the Club Balcony Suite? Today we're going to dive into the pros and cons of both of these categories of suites on Norwegian Cruise Line. I'm going to show you around both of them and let you know my thoughts to help you make a decision for your next cruise. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides. I've been making travel videos for over 15 years of popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there, and I have strong opinions about both of these classes of cabin on Norwegian Cruise Line, so let's just get into it. In November of 2024, we cruised with the Norwegian Bliss from California down to Mexico and back. And on that cruise, we decided to splurge on a Club Balcony Suite. I've already made a full video showcasing just the suite and telling you what I think about it. But as you're looking at it here, let me just mention my main opinion about this is it does not deserve the word suite. What the Club Balcony Suite is a balcony cabin with a slightly bigger bathroom. That's really all you get for the extra price and the word suite. So let's take a look at the price. You can see on this random cruise I chose for the Norwegian Viva, which was the most recent Norwegian ship we were on in December. A Club Balcony Suite will cost you $2,103, and a normal balcony is only $1,382. And I want to show you here, if we open up the information for a Club Balcony Suite, it's between 25 and 27 square meters, and this is the layout. So just as a comparison, let's go back here and just look at what a balcony is, which is going to cost around $700 or 700 euros less. Do you see much of a difference here? If we lay both of these floor plans over each other, it's really basically the same cabin, just with a slightly bigger bathroom and a different name and a higher price tag.
Can you tell I'm not a big fan of these?
It's not that I don't like the cabin. I just don't like it being called a suite, and I don't like how much more it costs than a traditional balcony cabin. But you might be interested in it anyways, and one of the things I always tell people when they are interested in booking a suite or ask me if a suite is worth it is it's not only about the space that you get, it's also about the perks and amenities that come with it. And if you scroll down here to look at the information of what comes with a Club Balcony Suite as perks, you can see it lists a private balcony as an amenity, but that's pretty standard with any balcony cabin. You can pre-book your dining and entertainment early. I'm pretty sure that anybody staying in a standard balcony cabin can do that as well. This is the first thing that is a little bit different. You do get treats delivered to your room. I think it was every other day, but it might have been every day. And this is something that I think, yeah, it's nice, but you're already on a cruise ship where there is food included in the price of the cruise everywhere. So it's not like that's something like that you really need. But of course, it's nice when you come home from the pool in the afternoon to have some chocolate-covered strawberries sitting there or something like that. It lists a sitting area as one of the amenities, and I just think, okay, you know, like, should they also say door, a bed, a window? Like, these are all things that are in every cabin, right? So just to skip through here, the other things that are really exclusive to booking a Club Balcony Suite, let's say over a normal balcony cabin, is you do get a complimentary bag of laundry, which is really great. And if you haven't seen my magical tip about making a clothes lasagna to get the most amount of clothes in these bags as possible, I'm going to link that in the description below. A lot of you have written to me to say you tried it and were also amazed at how much you can fit into the bag by using this technique. I'm glad to help. So it says room service is available 24 hours. It doesn't say that it's complimentary. It just says it's available 24 hours. And you do get a complimentary bottle of sparkling wine in the cabin. You'll notice what it doesn't say is any kind of priority embarkation or debarkation. It doesn't say anything about priority tenders or priority seating anywhere. There's no butler. There's no extra pool deck. There's Nothing like that is included in a club balcony suite. The basic perks that you're getting are, once again, a slightly bigger bathroom, free laundry, a bottle of sparkling wine, and some treats delivered to your cabin. Those are like the main core things that make spending this extra money over a standard balcony cabin, I don't want to say worth it, because I personally don't think it's worth it, but that's what you get for the extra money and for booking a club balcony suite. So Norwegian also offers an area of the ship called the Haven. On our most recent cruise on the Norwegian Viva, we cruised in the Haven. It was the first time we've done that, and it might be the last time unless I can get a really good deal. A lot of the videos that have been going online on the very unofficial travel guides in the last few weeks have been about this experience, about the cabin, about the places that we visited, like Mykonos and Santorini. Just a couple days ago, I uploaded the first of a two-part series of videos about visiting Egypt and going to the pyramids. It was really fascinating. Thank you so much for everybody who encouraged us to spend the 5 hours in the bus. It was worth it, but there's some things you definitely need to know before you go if you're planning to do this, so check out that video from a couple days ago. And while I'm talking about recommendations, have I mentioned that I've written 2 books of travel stories about my life and true things that have happened to me while traveling the world? They're called Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship and Places Please. If you like to read and want to give me a little extra support, please check them out on Amazon now. You will notice, compared to a club balcony suite or a traditional balcony cabin, there is a lot more space in these cabins. The amenities and the design and decor is also much different. There's darker wood, there is a gigantic bed, probably big enough for like 4 adults to sleep in. Upside down pineapple, anyone? There's a much larger bathroom with kind of a weird layout. I talked about this unusual gigantic sink in the cabin tour video. There's comfortable balcony furniture out on the balcony where you can sit and have a full meal put on your table by a butler. And altogether, this cabin or this penthouse balcony suite was just really nice. But let's talk about the price, shall we? Because of course, that's important. Going back to this cruise, just to compare again, the balcony would be $1,382, the club balcony suite would be $2,103, and the least expensive balcony in the Haven is going to go for $3,657 per person. I know we've looked around the cabin already, but let me just show you the floor plan here. This is kind of what it looks like from the top. This is the sitting area here across from the gigantic bed. This is the larger bathroom, and then of course the great big balcony. And we have to talk about the amenities because when you book a cabin in the Haven, there are a lot of amenities that you get to enjoy that you will not get in a club balcony suite, including a 24-hour butler. And this is something that I'm also going to make a video about coming up soon, like exactly what is it that a butler does for you. But just to sum it up quickly, a butler is basically like your personal waiter and in charge of all the food and drink options in your cabin. So if you're sitting on your balcony and you decide you want some champagne, or you want a sandwich, or you want some pasta, you can literally just call your butler and say,
"Hey, this is Morgan. Listen, I'm kind of hungry. Can you bring me a snack?"
And they'll do it. As far as things in the cabin go, there's also sparkling wine and a plate of fruit on embarkation. Like I said, this huge bed also has a pillow top mattress. There are also treats delivered to your cabin every day of the cruise. And in addition to that, in this closed off area on the ship called the Haven, there's also a private pool deck only for people staying in the Haven. On the Viva, they had this beautiful infinity edge pool looking out over the aft of the ship. On the second level of the sun deck, there were 2 hot tubs that were almost empty the entire time we were there. There's a Haven restaurant, which if you watched my video about that, you'll know was completely chaotic on our cruise. It did not feel luxurious at all. There are concierges waiting to book restaurant reservations for you, accompany you down to the reserved seats in the theater, take you and your group directly past the line onto the next tender boat over to Santorini. You also get priority embarkation, debarkation, tender boarding. Room service is available 24 hours. It's included in the price of the cabin. And yeah, all together, just for the price, you are getting a lot of amenities. But here's the question you have to ask yourself. A standard balcony cabin on this cruise is going to start at $1,382 per person. The Haven is $3,657 per person, which is more than 2,000 euros more per person for the cabin and all of those amenities. If you have a huge travel budget, if you've been like working hard, making the cash, and are kind of in that sort of money is not really an option when it comes to your travel budget, I would say definitely stay in the Haven. Why not? If you have the money and you can afford it, go for it. It's great, but from my experience in the Haven and my personal preferences, I cannot justify paying that money for that because there are other options you can add to your standard balcony cabin or your club balcony suite that will give you, in a way, a Haven kind of feeling for a much smaller price. For example, Norwegian also offers the Vibe Beach Club, which is a separate, I'm going to say like a separate area of the pool deck that's closed off and only available to people who have bought a pass. It includes a bar and hot tubs, and in a way, it's very similar to the private sun deck that is available in the Haven, and the price for a pass that goes for the entire run of your cruise, it goes up and down. I can't quote you a price now because it's literally like, it's different on just about every cruise, but I can assure you it's not 2,000 euros for the length of the cruise. So you can stay in a balcony cabin or a club balcony suite, buy a pass to the Vibe Beach Club for the week. You can buy a pass to the thermal suite, and some of these newer NCL ships have amazing thermal suites on them. You can get yourself a massage and a mani-pedi, and you can probably eat at one of the specialty restaurants on board every night of the week, and you're still not going to reach the price of the Haven cabin. Can you tell where I'm going with this? If you do have a couple thousand to spend and you have to decide, okay, should we do one cruise this year and make it be in the Haven? Or should we do 2 cruises this year and stay in a balcony and buy some upgrades? I will always say 100% do the 2 cruises with upgrades and not the one and splurge. So has any of this helped you? Do you feel better informed now? Are you looking at a Norwegian cruise? Are you considering a club balcony suite? Are you considering staying in the Haven? Listen, I know there is also something between those two. Norwegian also offers suites. So this is not a club balcony suite and it's not a Haven suite. These are larger cabins. Many of them have larger balconies and special locations on the ship. And I've never stayed in one of these, so I don't have as much information about those as I do in a club balcony suite or the Haven. What I do know from our butler is they basically get all the perks that somebody gets staying in the Haven except the Haven area. So they do get a butler, they do get room service, they do get priority like everything, but they can't go to the Haven pool, hot tub, bar, or restaurant. So maybe, I don't know, maybe if I win the lottery and have the chance now on my next NCL cruise, I should stay in just a suite to compare that too. If this video did help you or entertain you, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. That really helps. You can also consider signing up to patreon.com/veryunofficial or joining my channel here on YouTube. That's a great way to support me, and you get an extra behind the scenes look at upcoming trips and the way I make these videos here on YouTube for you. In next week's vlog, you're going to take a walk around the very interesting city of Alexandria, Egypt with us. It was somewhat uncomfortable. It's not something I would recommend for everybody or every situation. So if you're planning on visiting Egypt soon, make sure you check back for that. I have some things that I really feel like you need to know. And before I go, let me just once again say thank you for spending this part of your Sunday or whatever day it is you choose to watch this with me. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and I hope to see you back here soon. Bye-bye.